Hey everybody, this is Teany Hidalgo, and today I have a special guest, Heather Paris. Say hello.
Hello.
I am your purpose coach, and today and every day I encourage you to get your weekly dose of high vibe, forward thinking, and revolutionary content that encourages you to discover the passions that lead you to your purpose. And I am so excited to have my girlfriend here today.
Whoop, whoop.
We always have a good time, Heather, you and I. I mean, like off the video and on videos.
Absolutely.
It's
Never know
always
what's
a
going
good
to
time.
happen.
You never know what's going to come out of our mouths. But so in case you've been under a rock somewhere and you haven't seen me do my thing with Heather, yesterday we had an amazing crushing the last days of the year workshop series, right? That was so much fun. Did you guys
That was
have a
awesome.
good time?
Yeah, that was so super cool. I had a great time, and having all of those speakers, yourself included, all in one place giving out mad knowledge was just awesome. And I got a lot of feedback from people that were really excited and thanked me and thanked everybody. So it was great. It
I
was
love it. I
great.
love it. There's nothing like giving something like this for free, because people need this stuff. And sometimes,
Yeah.
whatever, they can't afford it or whatever the case is. But it's always nice to give this kind of knowledge. And each one of us has such a unique way of, bringing out what comes out of us naturally, right? Like whatever our subject matter expertise is. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. We all have a skill set. Why not share it? Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Absolutely.
All right. So speaking of skill set, let me talk about you. But first, actually, let me just double check really quick, make sure that we are officially live. Just never know. Okay, good. We are good. We are live. Awesome sauce. All right, guys. So
Yay.
a little bit about Heather. She is a certified family coach, a strategic interventionist, a marriage counselor, a yogi, a certified breathwork practitioner, and a neuro-linguistic programmer. She's on a mission to increase emotional intelligence and resiliency, which promotes health and happiness within families. Love that. She recently started a life coaching school and brought an RV with her husband, Thad, to travel the U.S. road tripping and eating vegan wherever she goes.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
You've pretty much done it all, Heather. I think.
Oh, yeah. Or it's on the list and we'll be doing it soon, if not.
Do everything once, right? At least once.
At least once. Yep.
So again, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to dive into the questions in a minute, but I really wanted to thank you because, one, I don't even know how long I've known you at this point. I feel like I've known you forever. And like we're sisters from another mother. And so it's always lovely and amazing and fun to have you on the show. And always something new is happening when we speak.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
And I got good internet this time.
Ah,
So we should be okay.
the last time she was out in the boonies.
Yeah,
New York.
exactly.
All good things. But yes, I think the last time we spoke, you had launched your life coaching program, right? Your school. If I'm
No, we've talked a lot. We've talked since then. That's been like 3 years now,
Get
Teany.
out of here.
Yeah.
How many times have I
Yeah.
had you on the show? I think it's been
A bunch of times. I think the last time we were launching something, but I gotta be honest, I don't remember what it was now. It might have been our DIY relationship repair program.
I think it was TAC.
TAC 17. Yeah, that's it.
TAC 17. That's what it was. The school program. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I knew it was a program. I couldn't remember which one.
Yes, absolutely.
So before we get into the RV life, you are in fact still life coaching.
Yes.
Even while
100%.
on the road, which is amazing because you're basically living the life that everyone wants to have as a coach, right? Like you can go anywhere, you can live from anywhere, work from anywhere, et cetera, et cetera. So it's amazing. So let's get into some of the coaching stuff because for those of you who don't know her, she is an amazing family and relationship coach. And I have referred you and I've had you help me and oh my God, like you're just an amazing person and all the things that you've done for your own family is crazy and for even other people's kids. So bless you.
Thank you.
All right. So for those that haven't heard me talk about her already and haven't heard her talk, can you give us a quick rundown of what you do and how you got into this area of coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the short answer is I help families, right?
Yeah.
I teach people how to get along. 99.9% of what I do is teach people how to communicate in a different way that leaves relationships intact rather than destroying one another, because most people don't know how to communicate, get their point across without being horrible or without hurting or without just not saying anything and feeling hurt themselves. So I'd say 99% of what I do is teaching people how to communicate differently, because pretty much everyone does it wrong. so
It's
so
been
that's what I
passed down.
do.
That's my excuse. It's been passed down from
It's been passed
generation to
down.
generation.
Well, and yeah, and it's not taught in school. I mean, you know what I mean? They'll teach algebra or how to dissect a frog, but they're not going to teach you how to effectively advocate for yourself and say, you know what, um, you can't treat me this way any longer, and if you continue, I'm going to leave. You know, no, who
Yeah.
teaches you how to say that, right?
Right. Right.
So I basically help families and couples and kids and parents navigate whatever challenges they're facing in the family life. So, I mean, I
Love
work
it.
with individuals too, but most of what I do is couples and families.
I love
So,
it. I love it. And
yeah.
also schools, because you've spoken in schools.
I speak in schools, yep, up on stage in front of all of the students. That I just do for
And they
fun. I
didn't
mean,
throw
that's
tomatoes at you. That's a positive sign.
no tomatoes, exactly. No, I have such a good time doing that. I speak at high schools and colleges, and not frequently, infrequently, because well, we're traveling now, right? But I do enjoy that very much, and I get such good feedback, and the kids that I talk to, the teenagers especially, are just amazing.
Yeah.
And I truly believe, like my mentor Josh Shipp says, every kid just needs one caring adult, right? And I totally live by that and believe that wholeheartedly. um I went through Josh Shipp's program too, and I went out to California and did Rock the Mic with him and Rock the Stage, and
Nice.
yeah, and it was awesome. But he's spot on, and that always spoke so close to my heart, because Josh Shipp was adopted, went through the foster care system. My dad was adopted, had gone through the foster care system. Thad and I have taken in 4 kids, as you know, that didn't belong to either one of us, that were bouncing around. And so it's very near and dear to my heart to be there to support kids, to support families, and to teach parents how to break that cycle of intergenerational transmission. Like you just
Yeah.
said, that's what I learned from my parents.
Yep.
Well, we can learn to do things differently, whether it's addiction or abuse or even just, meanness, just sometimes meanness, like nasty comments that parents make. Don't realize how traumatic that can be and how impactful it is in a child's life. So I help parents and families and couples navigate. If that was a long
I
answer,
love
sorry.
that. I love that. I love that. And I often feel that kids are probably misunderstood, because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
come with our own baggage as adults, and so when we see them, we're like, what's wrong with you? But it's really, I feel like, a miscommunication and a misunderstanding of how to really relate to each other, right?
Absolutely. And it's funny because you brought up my life coach school, Inspired Life School, where I teach people and certify people to become life coaches. But the original reason, and I'm sorry if you were going to ask me this already, but the original reason that I even started that school was so that I could have a bigger impact on families, so that parents could take this training and basically learn how to emotion coach their own children,
Yeah.
because that's the number one thing that kids need. Is they need to feel heard, they need to be seen. And parents brush everything off, and they don't honor that they're humans with actual feelings. And so I teach parents how to emotion coach their kids. And well, if you go through the program, you can become a certified life coach, right? But really, the reason I started that was just to make a bigger impact on families around the world.
I love that. And I have to say, like, you and I have had so many conversations about my own personal trials with my own son. And I have a quick story for you.
Sure.
I'm going to tell everybody on camera.
Woo.
So the other day, they have tests, of course, there's in-class tests. And my son had just received his test back with another young man. And the young man had gotten a really low grade. And he started to cry. He was upset. And Jaden's like, why are you crying? And he's like, because I failed this test. And he's like, doesn't your mom care? And he's like, no, because my mom thinks it's not about tests. It's about who I am. And I was like, yeah.
That is a huge parent win, right? That's like mom win big time.
I was so proud.
That's awesome. You know, it's funny though, because I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with parents and they get mad. Well, I need my kid to do well. Well, what about if he becomes a garbage man, Heather? If I don't stay on him and he doesn't get good grades? And I'm like, so you won't love him if he's a garbage man? Is that what you're telling me? Because I know garbage men in New York City make pretty damn good
They make
money.
6 figures, let me tell you.
They do. I'd be very happy if my kid was making 6 figures, picking up garbage. What the hell do you care? I mean, most people are so worried about the outcome. What's going to happen? What's my kid going to become, that they forget that their kid is somebody now.
Yeah.
And they ruin the relationship that they have. And so like my belief is relationship first, everything else last, because it's your relationship with your child that's going to give them the best chance of resisting temptation when they go out into the world and drug dealers are trying to get at them, and all these temptations, all the things that kids have to come in contact with, and it's ridiculous to think they don't. All kids, if they go to public school and they leave the house, there's going to be some sort of horrible thing out there that's going to try to entice them to get involved. And if they don't have a good, solid relationship with you, they're going to turn to the drug dealer, because that drug dealer will tell them they're fantastic, that they're wonderful, that they're beautiful. Or that boyfriend that they're dating or the girlfriend is going to say, I love you more than anything. And they're going to do stupid things before they're old enough to do things, right? So it's
crazy.
vitally important that you build the relationship, and parents need to understand that. And that's part of what I do.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And there's such a big need for that right now. Like, communication is so vital with these kids, especially as they're growing up. I mean, especially in New York, let's be honest.
Everywhere, girl, everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Seriously.
All right. So I want to know, because now you've been doing this for a while, in retrospect, what were the personal signs that, you used to help you keep moving in the direction of what you were doing?
I've just never not wanted to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I retired from parenting, I say, this September, when my youngest child moved out and went to college. So
OMG. Did you cry?
I know, right?
Tell the truth.
I still do a little bit here and there now and then. Yeah. Well, I mean, 25 years. For 25 years, I've worked, you know what I mean? I've had jobs, I've been coaching, I've done this or that over those 25 years. But the primary focus that I've had for 25 solid years is raising decent citizens, right? Raising these kids. Some were mine, some were ours, some were somebody else's, right? But I still had a hand in raising them. And so
it takes a community, Heather.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how the community always ends up at my house, but anyway.
I bet that is like, why, Heather? Another one?
Oh, he's the biggest sucker as I am. He's just a big softy too. This guy, he's sitting over here next to me. He could never say no.
We're gonna get him on in a minute. I have a couple questions for him.
That's fine. I'll give him one of the earbuds. Earpods. No, I've just always like known that this was my way. And honestly, Teany, like, I don't want to sound cliche or stupid or anything, but if I'm not helping or serving, I feel like crud.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Like, I don't know if you heard me last night, but one of the defining moments in my life was when I was in grade school. I think I was 3rd grade. And this little girl, Edie, who was my best friend, said she didn't want to go home because she wasn't going to get fed. And so I smuggled her home on my school bus. Like, I literally kidnapped her. Yeah. And brought her home and was like, Edie's going to live with us now, right? And my mom's like, what in the world? I mean, it was this whole big thing. But it was like, it killed me even at that young age to think that there were children out there that didn't have food or that weren't going to have, a nice life at home.
Insane.
And yeah. And I mean, I had a really nice life growing up, not perfect by any means. I could certainly tell you some stories, but my parents tried really, really hard to do the best that they can and to give us a really good life. And I think that they did. And so I feel privileged, especially compared to the life that they had growing up, especially my dad growing up in an orphanage. So they always tried to do better than what they had. And I think that's important, but that's kind of what shaped me, like knowing that my parents had suffered and how hard that is. Let me tell you something. When your kids see you suffering or know that you're hurting in any way, it's hard on them.
Yeah.
So it's imperative that parents, I mean, that could go a good way or it could go a bad way. So hearing my dad talk about the orphanage and how hard it was for him shaped who I became, because it made me want to go out and help and save and rescue, right? And I made some really stupid, shitty choices early on in my 20s by marrying, somebody that I thought could fix and all this stuff. But that definitely shaped who I was. And so it's imperative that parents understand, like, if your kid, more than anything else in the whole wide world, wants you to be happy. They want to see you smile, because when you're not, they feel unstable and they feel unsafe, like, oh shit. And that's not to say that you have to act happy all the time. If you're feeling sad or whatever, of course, but explain it to the child. You know what I mean? Talk about your emotions. Explain how emotions work and how to, coach your kids through that kind of stuff. Does that
Absolutely.
make sense? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
they
went
they
way
also
off
need to
on
see
a
the
tangent.
range of your emotions and that it's okay. Like I remember my son
Right.
coming to me and saying, "I'm gonna stop crying because like so and so told me I'm a boy and boys don't cry." I'm like, "Who the hell told you that?"
Aw, yeah,
Sometimes it's within
exactly.
our own families that
Yeah. Oh,
people say things
yes.
like that. So it's like you have to delete,
It's the
scratch that
boomers.
out.
It's the boomers. I blame the boomers. Yeah, it's not us.
Yeah, no,
Gen X,
it's
we're
not
doing it
us.
right, girl.
No, we're undoing everything that generation did, actually.
That's right. That's right. No offense, boomers, but yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. All right.
Funny.
So next question. So what is one or a couple of major beliefs or patterns that you've noticed limit people from having an amazing family life?
Oh, okay. Well, any kind of addiction. I want to bring that up because as Thad and I have been traveling the country, it is absolutely unbelievable. Like, hold on one second. Carrie just texted. Could you text her for me? Sorry. Our youngest is flying in from another state, so we're just keeping an eye
Woo-hoo.
to make sure she's okay.
Hey.
Yeah, no, addiction is ridiculously. It's not just like, oh, in a city. No, it's everywhere. Kids are dying, and it's imperative that you get your shit together as a parent. And it's not to say that you have to be perfect or that you've never had problems. We all have. But if you've had some issues, especially around addiction, set a model for your kids of recovery instead of addiction, right? Show them how you're taking steps to get better, to live better, to do things differently. I just think, besides addiction, any kind of intergenerational transmission, because what you do, they'll do.
Yep.
What you say, they'll say. How you act, they'll act. How you abuse, they'll abuse.
Yep.
And even your trauma gets passed down. It's called vicarious trauma. I've seen this a million times where a kid is experiencing the same trauma that their parents had, even though they didn't firsthand
Wow.
experience it.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, so it's imperative that parents work through their shit.
Yeah, it's
Get help,
absolutely
man.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, totally agree. Unfortunately, a lot of things that happen in families go one untalked about and two like ignored by the people having the issues themselves.
Right.
Like I'm
Yeah,
okay. I'm not, alcoholic or anything. What are you talking about?
exactly.
Yeah, it's
It would
terrible.
actually be better if they owned that yes, they say, yes, I'm an alcoholic and I'm going to try to get help and I'm not going to be perfect, but watch me at least try to do something better. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Ooh, heavy. All right.
Sorry, I
So,
know. But that's what I was saying. As we're traveling around, we see it everywhere. Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina. There's recovery everywhere. There's signs up. There's massive amounts of billboards going all across the
wow.
country about get help, recovery services, because it is epidemic.
I would think also around the holidays, around this time, it gets pretty crazy, right? People get
Yeah.
more addicted. They, whatever
Can I just
they're
say
doing
something?
extreme. Hmm.
I would like to say, and I don't care if this makes me a big fat nerd, but I would like to say people can have fun without some freaking alcohol. For fudge sakes. I'm trying not to swear. I'm trying to behave here, but
Feel free.
oh, for God's sakes, though, like everyone oh, I can't go to the holiday party, but this drink, that drink. Fuck that. I mean, you know what? You got bigger balls if you go and act stupid, totally sober. You know what I mean? Like, I feel personally proud of all the asinine shit that I do because I do it stone cold sober. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
seriously.
Like, the holidays are not an excuse to get drunk or high. Like, I just literally despise drugs and alcohol so much because, and don't even get me started on the whole weed thing. Yeah, I get it. It's legal in a lot of places now, but you know what? You're setting a bad example for young people. Smoking is legal. Drinking is legal.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to participate in it. You're setting a bad example. Cut it out.
They're
Sorry.
all they're all kind of evils. I mean, abuse is abuse. So no
Yeah.
matter what you're abusing, right?
I mean,
So
I'm not a stick in the mud. You know what I mean? Like, Thad likes a glass of wine here and there. I could care less what people do. But when it comes to, you know, it having a bad impact on you, or you think if any time you think you need any substance to have a good time, you have a problem.
yeah, absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sorry, that was way off on a
no, not at
tangent.
all. Listen, like I said, around now is the time that people need to hear these things because now is
Yeah.
when these addictions are shown even bigger. They're even more impactful on people. So
Yeah, and you know what? As I would say to, like, the addicts or the people who are drinking or drugging or whatever, you think you got it bad? Try being your kid.
mm,
Try being your kid. Try being the kid
and
that's
being the
watching,
witness, yeah,
right, watching mommy and daddy get drunk or stumble or fall or struggle. It sucks, man.
it's
So
tough. And again, there's
get
nothing
help.
wrong with having your glass of wine now and then.
Right,
Just
exactly.
don't be stupid about it. That's all.
Exactly.
So speaking of the holidays and all this stuff, what do you recommend for people to maintain sanity and stability and maybe not turn to alcohol and drugs during the holidays, right? It's
Yeah,
a perfect
right,
time to
right.
do that. It's condoned.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, I mean, the first thing that I would say is upgrade your peer group. You know what I mean? If you're feeling any kind of insanity around the holidays and you're like stressing about going to see people, it's because maybe those people aren't right for you. I mean, if you're like really stressing about going over to Sally Sue's house, don't fucking go. Dude, seriously, advocate for yourself, right? Get a better friend group or peer group, and that stands for family too. If you can't stand being around a certain member of your family because they're abusive or they're mean or whatever, they treat you poorly, don't do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. And the best way that you can do that is just communicate, because that's the problem. That's why I said 99% of what I do is teach people how to say the things that they want to say without hurting people's feelings.
Right.
So
It's true.
people need, yeah, instead of saying, oh, well, I'm not going to your house this year, mom, because you were so rude to me. Just say, you know what, this year my family and I have decided to go serve meals at the church on Thanksgiving, so we're not going to come over,
Right.
or whatever, right? Or, oh, we've decided that we're going to have a little cozy at home meal and maybe we'll stop by for coffee later. Like, there's a million different ways to say it without causing undue drama and chaos.
Absolutely.
So I
Or
would,
if it's really painful, like I do with certain people in my family, like I'll just be there for an hour, two tops.
That's
And then
it.
I'm
Set a
out.
time limit. That's it. And you can say that too. You know, people say, well, I could never. I'm expected to say, okay, or I'm expected to stay the whole time. Well, then say to them, hello, I'm here, but I have to leave by 7 because I have to go take out the dog, pick up the kid, put away whatever it is. Make up some excuse, but say, I'm so glad to be here. I'm sorry I can only stay until 7 p.m. or whatever. I mean, just put
Absolutely.
that shit out there. Most people have the
They're
hardest time
afraid.
communicating. Yeah, they're
They
afraid.
are.
Well,
Love
they're
it.
going to get mad at me. Well, so what? You know, so
What
what if
else
they
is
get
new?
mad
You're
at
an
me?
adult. Suck it up.
Right. And you know what? 99% of the time, the person's not going to get mad at you if you communicate it, because most people walk in with the chip on their shoulder. They're already nervous. So they're communicating angsty, right? So they're coming in and like, I can't stay. Oh, I have too much to do. And they're like, cause all this drama and chaos instead of just calmly saying, I can't stay. I'm only here for an hour. I'm going to go, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. What is somebody going to say? I hate you. How dare you only come and stay for 1 hour and bring me a pie? No.
And if they do,
So,
then maybe you won't come back.
right. And if they do, please don't go back there. Why would you tolerate abuse? Blah.
Exactly. I think people use family as an excuse to put up with abuse. Don't you
They
think?
do. Absolutely. Again, this is what I teach, right? With families. And listen, this is what you can say. I love you, but I will no longer tolerate your abuse. If you speak to me like that again, I will hang up. I will leave. I will not come over, whatever it is. I love you, but I will no longer tolerate. And I literally make my clients write that sentence down. I love you, but I will no longer tolerate this, whatever,
Yeah.
yelling, screaming, whatever it is.
A lot of that is
Um,
practice too, just like, going over it and just fitting it in your body and making sure you feel it, right?
yeah,
Letting
I
it
mean,
sit well with you.
that's what I do with clients. I teach them how to say hard stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, to get through
Easy,
the holidays, yeah, to get through the holidays, advocate for yourself, set limits and stick to them. And then, I do first, Thad and I have found so much peace in Kundalini yoga, as you know. And
Yeah.
so, whatever self-care things you do for yourself, whether it's yoga or breath work or, whatever, do those things. Like, don't just wait until you need them desperately. Do it every single day so you never get to
Yeah.
that point of needing it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then when you come with your your newfound wisdom and energy, you can be the
Yeah.
change, right? You can be the change that they see.
Right.
It'll
Yeah.
be
Share your peace, not your chaos, right? Share
yeah,
your calm.
seriously, right? All
Yeah.
right. So enough about coaching. We already know that stuff, right? Let's talk about the RVing road trip you're on.
Ooh, yeah, fun.
What in the hell possessed you to do this? Is what I'd like to know.
I
Why
don't
did you
know.
give up your gorgeous home upstate that you had just done so many beautiful renovations on
I
to
know.
sell it
You
and buy
never even
yourself an RV? I
I
never even
know.
got to see it. I'm so
You
upset.
never you never got to see all the finished work that we did. When you came up, did we have yeah, we had a porch when you came
We had a
last, but
porch. Yeah.
we didn't have all the other stuff. Yeah, we finished it and beautiful, amazing, and then we sold it. So after the kids last year, it was the last year with kids at home, and we knew that. And you know, part of having a house on an island with 10 acres, a big house, is lovely and it's beautiful, but you're time poor to the house. So you're spending all your time mowing the lawn. Like Thad would literally spend the entire weekend mowing the lawn. You're
Wow.
spending all of your time maintaining the house, replacing shingles when they need to be, or when the windstorm came and knocked the railing off the porch, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Or shoveling, or literally getting stuck in the house because we had like 8 feet of snow and the tractor wouldn't keep up with that level of snow. So getting stranded, because our driveway was a third of a mile long, really, we're really out there.
Yeah.
That's what did it. We both were like, we want to live with the smallest footprint possible and we want to do what we love, which is eat. So, and we're both vegan.
And do your coaching thing along the way and like drop some knowledge along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, so we went from over 3,000 square feet house to the RV, which is the whole RV is 200 square feet, but that's like empty, right? So the tables and the couch, all that take up. So we literally I'm looking at it. We have one walkway of space about as wide, just as wide. How wide is that? 2 feet? One 30-inch walkway that's about 10 feet, 12 feet
Wow,
long.
that's insane.
That's it. Every other square inch is covered with, the couch, the chair, the whatever. This is a backdrop. There's a loft up there where Carrie sleeps. I mean, I don't know if I can.
It sounds like those micro apartments that they built in New York City that cost like a few $100 to live in.
I was looking to see if I could flip the camera.
You just flip the bed up, you flip the kitchen table up, you like everything you can flip away.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So the funny part is that we have been this week talking about downsizing from the freaking RV. Can you imagine?
What is that about? What does that mean? How do you downsize?
So we're in the RV. We've got how big is the RV? 28 feet? We've got a 28-foot RV. It's the kind that you drive, right? It's not the tow behind or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lovely. I mean, we have a bedroom. The bedroom is super cozy and comfy. There's a bathroom, a little kitchen area, and then this is like where I'm sitting, our desk area. But because it's a 28-foot RV, we tow the Jeep behind us, so we have a little car because you can't park a 28-foot RV in any city anywhere.
Right. No.
So to go into a city, we have to have the car. But now I'm like, because Thad fell last week and broke his arm in 2 places. And so I've been driving the RV, and this is me like white knuckling driving the RV. You have to hold on so tight because it's so big. And if the wind comes or a truck goes by, you go whoosh, 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 right? So
oh my God.
I'm like, holy shit. So
I bet you appreciate that even more right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was like, maybe we should just downsize to a van because then we don't have to pull anything behind us. It's just a van. We can drive in and out of any city or any place.
Right.
And
but then you have no kitchen, you have no bathroom, you have nothing.
Well, no, you can get a van that has those things. It's just, it's microscopically small, right? So I don't know that we'll actually do that or not. I don't know, but I do like having, like it takes me 5 minutes to clean my house now. That's really nice.
Nice.
It's really nice.
And being that you guys are vegan, like there's little mess.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And honestly, we don't really cook much in the RV because we're eating out. So we're writing a vegan travel blog. It's just something we always wanted to do. We don't want to have a big footprint. I don't want to have lots of stuff. We both love to travel. We both love to eat. We both love to go and do things more than we like to collect things, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So we're like, fuck it, let's do it. So we sold the house and we bought the RV. We got a really good deal on it. And that's honestly, I never want to live in a house again, I think.
Wow.
Or if I do, I want to live in a tiny house.
Yeah. They do have those, those little one-person homes. Or two homes.
Right. Yeah.
So I want to talk to that a little. Can he come over here?
Yeah, he just ran into the bedroom to get something, but he'll be out in a second.
I have a question for him.
Teany wants to talk to you, my love. Here he comes. That's the thing too. Like you can sit in one spot and hear everything and talk to everybody. Come on in, squeeze on in here. Here. Oh, hold on.
Hey, Thad.
Hold on. Okay, now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I'm here.
Can you hear him?
I can.
Okay.
How's your arm?
It's doing all right. I've been probably overworking it. Yeah, I'm a fast healer.
Oh, that's good. That's a good sign. You picked
It's
a
that
good one,
vegan
Heather.
diet.
Yes. That's actually what I wanted to ask about. So I recall when y'all met that you weren't vegan at all. You were a pretty hardcore meat eater. So what happened? How did that story play itself out? And now you're RVing as road tripping.
Right. Yeah.
How did this
Well,
all happen?
so I always say you don't know what you don't know, right? So before I met Heather, I really didn't have any exposure to the idea of eating plants or, killing things to eat food. And so when we got together, she didn't eat meat and I did. And so we kind of did that for a while, and I would cook things on the side. And then I kind of started realizing after a while, like, this tastes pretty good even without throwing
It's her
something else.
special sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, without throwing something else into it, it tasted pretty good. And then I started discovering that, all the things that we need are in plants already, so why add things to it? And then I watched a crazy documentary,
So
and
many good
saw,
ones. Which one did you watch?
yeah, I think
Forks over
it was
knives.
Forks Over Knives.
That's the one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Forks Over Knives had this like vegan bodybuilder on there, and that guy, he was so jacked up,
Yeah.
and all he ate was plants. And I said, well, I mean, if I'm gonna eat plants and look like that, it's worth it. I'm still working on the body, but
It'll come.
yeah, it is.
Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger is advocating for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Crazy,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It is impressive. It's definitely become much more mainstream, and I think so. Yeah, I guess my decision was for health reasons initially, and then the more aware I became, then I started appreciating all the little critters, and it gets pretty hard to justify that one is food and one is your friend. So
Yeah. And now there's no temptation now that you guys are basically out in the woods.
yeah, right. Yeah, we're out communing with nature in the driveway.
In the true sense of the word.
Yeah, definitely.
I
It's a
love
lot of fun.
this. So, what was your take on this whole RVing road trip idea? Whose idea was it, first of all?
That's a good question.
I think it was. I don't know. I think it was mine because I think I remember saying we should just buy an RV. Like, never mind the boat. We'll just live on the boat on summers because we bought a boat too.
Yeah.
I think that was also my idea. And then I said, why don't we just live on the boat in the summer and then buy an RV and travel around and live in that? And that would be really easy to take care of because it's so tiny.
Yeah. And I said, don't threaten me with a good time. And
I
went
know.
ahead, we went ahead and jumped. Yeah, the boat was our first venture into tiny living, and that turned into more of a,
We've never stayed on it yet.
yeah,
Oh,
it was more of a test of patience than anything, I think.
Yeah.
well, I think the RV experience will prepare you for the boat experience.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah, well, we went to the boat recently and I was like, it's up in Maine. And I was like, holy shit, this is not small at all compared to the RV. This is like luxurious. I mean, it is a small yacht, right? It's, but it, like, compared to the RV, it's ginormous.
it feels big when you're inside. It's really actually smaller than this.
Is it?
It's
But
all
it's got two
perspective, guys.
bedrooms.
It's all perspective.
We've
Yeah.
got one bedroom here, and the boat has two bedrooms.
Yep.
So I
Nice.
don't know. Yeah.
So I know that you just retired too, right?
Yes.
How does it feel to
Unofficially.
retire so young, unofficially, both of you?
Well,
Yeah.
I retired from kids, but he
Right.
retired from corporate,
Yeah.
Right.
but he's still coaching and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it feels good to be able to set your own schedule. Although once you're setting your own schedule, then you're committed to actually
Doing
working
it.
and yeah, doing
Nobody's on your back.
it.
Yeah.
So when the call of the wild is pulling you to the great outdoors, and you know that you have people that need to be talked to, and
A firewalk to set up, or
it's there's challenges, but I would say anyone who's looking to to go into business for themselves, there's no greater place to be, and there's no greater time to be there.
Can I say something?
Yes.
It is absolutely stupid that people think that they can't do it, if anyone thinks that.
In terms of retiring or having a business or RVing?
All of the above. Everything. I mean, because we're in our 40s and we're retired, so to speak, and everyone keeps telling me, we're living the American dream, traveling the country in the RV. And I keep thinking, this really was never my dream. This was a whim. Like in the past couple of years, I'm like, fuck it, let's buy an RV and travel. Like it's never ever been, I never even set foot in an RV before this.
Well,
So
I guess we're not exactly dreamers. Maybe that's it.
We're not, because we doers.
But I think that's the key. I think people put so much pressure behind these big ass dreams, and they're like, what if I don't get it? And they just like turn to all their fears, and it never becomes a reality, right? Where you guys just, oh, let's just do it.
Well, we're like, what's the worst case scenario? We hate it. And 2 months into it, we're like, fuck this. And we quit and we go buy another house somewhere and just live normal again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But we're in September, October, November. We're 3 months into it and we still like it. So I think we're okay.
I think you're in it to win it, guys.
Oh, and we do still love each other. I love you, but I also like you. So
exactly. I was going to say, if you guys can get through this, y'all can get through anything.
Seriously.
Like this much living space.
Yeah, because up to this is gross, but up to this point, we still don't we never had bathroom discussion. You know what I mean? Like some couples will walk in while you're peeing and stuff. No, we don't do that. Nope. So we move into this teeny tiny space and the bathroom's literally right there. If you could see behind this, if the camera flipped, there's the bathroom, right? And so we wouldn't even be in the next room when the other person was in the bathroom. We'd go far, far away, give you some privacy. There's no privacy in the RV. Oh, but you know what though? We went and had a couples massage today. It was our first time ever doing a couples massage.
Nice.
It was really nice. Pretty cool. Dad surprised me with it.
I love your surprises, Dad. I do.
Oh my God, he's so good, right?
You should have a man's program, Dad, and inspire some.
We've talked about that.
It's not a bad idea. Just saying. I have referred a couple of dudes to you.
I know. Any man that wants to come this way, we're going to put him into the life coach school, and then Thad can coach them instead of me. So
that could be a module or something, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Amazing. I love it. So what is the next situation for you guys on this RV? Do you guys have a map? How is it working?
If I could take the camera off right now and show you, I would. But we actually have a literal map. It's like the ones you see in elementary school with all the colors. Big, huge map on the wall in the bathroom so that when we're sitting on the toilet, we can look up and learn geography.
Sidebar question. I want to know how they determine what color to make each of the states on that.
I was wondering that. Oh, shit. That's your arm. I was wondering that too. I forgot he's got a broken arm.
I was healing really well till she went.
You're sitting on the wrong side.
I see what really happened. She broke your arm. That's really what
happened. That's it. The lady at the hospital asked that. She's poked her head in the room and she's laughing and she goes, I have to ask. You can tell me, do you want her to step out of the room? And she's cracking up. And I'm like, really? And she was making fun of me because I'm like, baby, do you need anything, baby? And she's like, oh, yeah, I know. And he's like, well, she does have red hair. I'm like, oh, for God's sake.
She's fiery. We know her.
Yeah, fiery temper.
Yeah, no, we don't have any itinerary or any idea what the hell we're doing, to be very honest. We don't. We knew that we were going to stay on the East Coast-ish until after the holidays because I want to spend the holidays with the kids. And so Dad's telling me to stop. I'm fidgeting. So we are in New York and Rhode Island until after Christmas, so we can spend the holidays with family, and Dad can heal his arm. We need a few weeks of respite.
But then you guys might be doing each coast. moving yourselves
I
around?
don't know. I know like after Christmas, we're actually heading towards Arizona because we're going to a conference out there. So
Love it.
We're gonna
yeah.
spend some time being warm.
I love Arizona. It's very dry though. Very dry.
Yeah. I'll have to figure some
Humidifier.
things out. Humidifier, exactly. Yeah, so to answer your question, we're just kind of winging it. And more than anything, for me, I'm looking forward to Alaska.
Sweet. Can you RV to Alaska?
Yep, you got to go through
Oh,
Canada,
wow.
British Columbia.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. I think next summer is our target for Alaska, right?
I think so. We're gonna plan on late summer.
So, what are the keys here? Because I know when you RV, like you need to know where like the electric units are, like how do you charge up, where to charge up the car, like
That's all Thad's department.
get rid of the poop from the bathroom, like all these crazy things that you don't have to think about because you flush the toilet, right? So,
Yep.
so you're in charge, Dad?
Yeah, I'm the man with the plan when it comes to household activities.
He does all that stuff. I don't have to do any of it. Yeah, you definitely have to put in, that's why we want to take some respite too, because it's a lot of work. It's more work than I think, realized, because you have to know where you're going. You have to make sure you're going to a place that has electricity or a dump station to empty the tanks, this and that. I mean, we are self-sustaining. We can live off the grid without electricity and stuff, but not forever.
Right.
Right.
Yep. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. So and really, if you're traveling steadily, then that can be daily. You have to. You really don't know where your next move is going to be until that day. So.
And it's a good, like, I think we've got it to about an hour. Like we can break down and get out or put everything back together in an hour. But we've got to unhook the Jeep. We've got to move, because when you're driving, like we have a light that hangs when we're not on video right here. And you got to take that down. You got to take down anything that's going to bang or bump or slide or fall or whatever. So we've come up with a pretty good system, I think. But
how long do you think it's going to last?
For what do you mean? For our
how
trip?
long do you think your RV life is going to last?
Well, yeah, we plan a year.
Okay.
Yeah, a year, and then we'll assess from there.
Sweet.
I don't know that I would want to. I love the tiny house living, but I don't. And I love traveling, but I don't love all of the work that goes into where are we going to stay? Do they have electricity? Oh my gosh, we haven't filled up the propane tank in like a week, or all that stuff is, if you need a lot of security and stability, this is not probably the thing for you.
Unless you have someone like Thad.
Yeah, I mean,
he can handle that.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's a pro tip. All Cracker Barrels allow you to stay in their parking lot. In fact, they have RV parking, overnight parking. Because that's another thing too. A lot of places, like if you're driving and you're on the road, you don't have a place to go. Well, most places don't allow you to park overnight.
And the pro tip is that while all Cracker Barrels as a company allow that and support it, not all cities and town ordinances allow it. So it's always best to stop into the store and check in with someone.
Yeah, because you might get a ticket if you're, where were we? Oh, Sevierville, right outside of
Pigeon Forge,
Tennessee, right outside of Dollywood. Sevierville has a city ordinance where you can't park anywhere publicly overnight, or they'll give you a ticket. And apparently, it's just under $200 too.
Ooh, it's pretty hefty.
Yeah,
so
we'll get a nice hotel room for that price.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, though, when you do go get a hotel room, it feels like the most luxurious thing that you've ever done in the world. Oh my God, it was amazing.
At the very least, you guys will appreciate, other types of living, right?
For sure.
Yeah, totally. It's not really roughing it though. I mean, we've got everything in the RV we need.
It's somewhere in between.
So. Yeah.
There's a little learning curve associated with it, but once you get the hang of it, we're kind of getting in the groove now. So moving days are far less stressful than they were in
Yeah.
the first week.
Yeah.
You're a pro now, man. You're a pro.
Unless Heather has to drive, and then the stress level comes up a little bit more. She did a great job.
Well, she's the one that's stressed out holding onto the wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, she picked it up pretty quick. Given the situation, she learned very quickly. And
it's like driving a freaking 18-wheeler, though. I mean, you're driving this big, giant RV, pulling a car behind you, too. You know, and it's so freaking tall. When a truck goes by, it rattles the whole thing, and you've got to hold on tight, or else you'll veer off of the road. So, I don't love driving.
Follow Abraham, right? Abraham Hicks, Esther.
Yeah.
She did that too. You know, she RVs. She used to RV and have a big. She used to have a big bus wherever they went, and she's driven the bus. And I'm like, this, like, she must be in her like 60s now.
And I think she's tiny, isn't she?
She is. I've seen her. I'm like, how does she do that? If she can do it, man, anybody can do it.
You just need strong arms, I think. That's all. Yeah.
And balls of steel.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a little unnerving, you know, because you're like getting thrown all over the place. But
I bet. So, what's the funnest place that you guys have been to so far? Was it Dollywood?
Oh my God, yeah, for me, Dollywood for sure. I loved it. I loved Dollywood. That was awesome. It was glitter everywhere. Just so much glitter. So many sequins. It was Christmas. They had just set up everything for Christmas. So as you can imagine, I was in love.
You were in heaven.
Yes. And then, so that was my favorite place to be. And then my favorite food, since we are on a vegan road trip, was in Ohio. And what was the town called? Edenburger in somewhere in Ohio. I forget the town, but it's on the blog. But Cincinnati. Was it?
I don't know.
I don't remember, but it was somewhere in Ohio, and it's called Edenburger, and it was freaking awesome.
Wow.
Holy crap. I told Dad, I was like, I could just move to Ohio now. I mean, I don't know what else is here, but I could eat at this restaurant every day for the rest of my life.
Wow.
It was so good.
It's amazing.
It doesn't take much to impress her.
I do love French fries, but I gave them a mad good review on our blog. Oh, that's another thing too. So Harry did a version of the logo. You can see, I don't know if you can see it on Thad's chest.
Mm-hmm.
That Harry, I designed it in my head, and that Harry actually executed it. So we have this star logo now with the frog in it, and we had some vinyl stickers made, and we're sending them to the vegan the ones that are all 100% vegan. For them to put on their windows and doors and stuff. Like if they're a 5-star vegan restaurant, they get a sticker. So
that is amazing.
Exciting.
Good idea. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And then, when we do the reviews, we always share them with the restaurant. Most of the restaurants have like reshared or retagged or, put it on their stories on Instagram or whatever. So we're getting a little bit of traction that way. It's really nice.
It's just fun. It just sounds like a whole lot of fun you guys are doing.
It is fun. It's a lot of work too. Like it's just always something, right? Right now we're working on figuring out the videos. So we're considering this our soft launch for our vegan road trip. And come January, that's going to be the real full launch, right? Once Thad figures out how to edit all the videos and put them up on YouTube and all that stuff that we have to do. So
it'll be official.
Yeah.
He's the tech genius. You guys will be
He is. I'm lucky. He's my tech guru. Yep.
So what are you guys planning to do once your trip is over? Any ideas?
We have a lot of ideas. Not sure. Yeah, not sure which one's going to take off. I mean, I would like to have a vegan restaurant and a yoga studio. So who knows?
Are you still doing yoga on the road? I think I saw you do a yoga class on one of the classes you were on.
So not a yoga class. I did a gong bath. And so that was awesome.
Sweet.
I did. And I'm reaching out to yoga studios it's hard. That's the hard part, is knowing where we're going to be and when we're going to be there. But if we do have a little bit of notice, like we know we're going to be somewhere, then I'll reach out to the yoga studios in that area and offer to do a gong bath at their studio.
Sweet.
And if, whatever. So that's what I did. I reached out to a couple of studios, and one in Nashville said, heck yeah. And we had like an awesome turnout. She had a whole bunch of people. I think it was like 15 or 16 in total.
Nice.
And they loved it. It was great. So we're going to be in Rhode Island for December. So I'm going to reach out to yoga studios there too. And of course, I want to come down to New York City too. And do one.
Come down.
I'm doing one this Sunday here in New York too. So
upstate. Yeah.
There's a bit of give and take with that, because we just had this discussion the other day. Our most stressful, if you will, moments during the trip have been when we have someplace to be, when we have a set schedule,
right,
and we know that we have to get from A to B in a certain amount of time, or we have to be there.
Makes sense.
So the planning that goes into that it kind of adds this layer of stress. But without that, without knowing where you're going to go, it's a little bit more challenging to schedule events and share our gifts with other people. So,
I hear you.
Yeah.
We're finding our groove though.
Yeah, I think we're quickly approaching a groove.
Sweet.
But I'm still coaching, and Thad's coaching too. We both coach from the RV. As long as we have our phone, it's awesome. It's awesome to be able to live and love what you do and be able to do it from anywhere.
Absolutely. Laptop life.
Yeah.
In an RV life.
Yeah. Hashtag RV life. Yeah, totally.
So how do you guys plan to continue to inspire people with your work and your lifestyle?
Just by living authentically and doing what we want to do, and not ever considering what other people think about it. I think.
Amen, sister.
What about you?
Yeah, it's about living by example.
Yeah, because
leading by example.
Yeah, and I'll say it right here, right now. If the words ever come out of my mouth, if I ever say, "But what will people think?" Just slap me. Either one of you, slap me. I know I don't think I've ever said it yet, but if I ever did, I think that's the biggest nightmare, right? Warming up. I'm gonna slap you good, girl.
Virtual slap.
Yeah, I just don't give a shit what other people think. You don't like my life? Don't watch. I don't care. I just, like, to be honest though, I had two of my best friends die. You know what I mean? They're both dead. Both of my friends, we were best friends for 30 years from high school. Right. And they're both gone, and gone young too, really freaking young. And so I always think about them right now, because my best friend Carrie, my daughter Carrie is named after her. Her birthday was a couple of days ago. And then 13 days later was my other best friend Blake's birthday. And then 13 days later after that is my birthday.
Wow.
Which is on the 13th of December. So we're all born 13 days apart. I know. And then it was always the three of us. We were just inseparable. And even when we lived apart, we were always on the phone. We were ridiculous. And so Blake just literally dropped dead for no reason. Nobody knows why. We just assume it was like a brain aneurysm. The guy never did drugs, didn't drink, just killed over dead in his 30s. Wow. And then Carrie, I lost Carrie, like, has it been 3 years now? 3 years ago to cancer. And so I'm like, fuck that. You know what? Life's too goddamn short. And for anyone who sits on their thumbs and says, I'm not going to do it because what will people think? You are sadly missing out on so much. Yeah. So much.
Yeah, really, you never know how many days you're going to get.
Yeah.
So if you're not spending every day doing what you love or giving back,
then what's the point, right?
What is the point?
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. Like, as we're traveling around on this vegan road trip, trying to have a smaller footprint, we're also feeding people. So Thad said at the beginning of the year he wanted to feed 600 homeless people. And so that's what we're doing. So we buy vegan meal bars from the company that we're affiliated with, and we pass them out to homeless people on the street.
I love it.
It's that simple. I mean, there's no fanfare. There's nothing. We just put a bunch of bars in our bag and we walk out. Here, you're hungry? Here.
Yeah, we've never had a hard time giving meals away.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's easy. And that's, for anyone, I don't have time. Oh my God. can I tell you, like, so many people, not so many, a few people were like, oh, I'd really love to come to your Crushing It in the Last Days of the Decade, but I'm just so busy. I'm too busy. I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not. You're not prioritizing yourself.
Exactly. Priority.
Yeah. And you can come to me and say, well, you have everything. You can do everything. You don't have any kids. Bitch, I had kids for 25 years, okay? I raised 10 children. I was a single mother, and I worked 3 damn jobs as a single mom. So don't tell me, just because I've been empty nester for 2 damn months, that I don't understand. Hell no.
Amen, sister. Preach. I tell people that all the time. They're like, how do you do it all? I put it on my list. I put it on my calendar.
Right. I schedule it.
I just do it.
I don't live by chaos and drama. I live by organization and priorities.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
They're all fired up now, Teany.
Yes.
Girl, you know you shouldn't do that. Get me going.
I love it, except we're at the top of the hour, so we have to go.
Boo! Having so much fun. Thanks for letting me bring my husband on.
Oh, yeah. I love you guys. Absolutely.
That's a nice treat. Thanks
we
for
love you
allowing
too.
me to join.
Oh, yes. Love
I
it.
love this guy. He is the best.
Yes. Yes, he is. Now, you better mend that arm. She needs you, buddy.
Yeah, I need him to drive. God, it's awful.
Hurry up. So where can we find you guys? Where can we follow you and like stalk you on social media?
Yeah, so you can go to liveinspirednow.com. Everything is there. You can get to our YouTube channel. You can get to our Facebook. You can get to like everything. So liveinspirednow.com, or you could just go to RVegan, which is the letter RVEGAN, RVegan Road Trip.
Name, by the way, I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, RVeganRoadTrip.com goes to our YouTube channel. So
sweet. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
You guys.
For
Any last
letting us
messages?
come on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Okay. First of all, I love this guy. Second of all, I love you. I think you are absolutely phenomenal in everything that you do. I love that we're friends, besides doing this and, inspiring the world and all the work that we do and all the good work that you do personally. I just love that we're friends, because it's nice to be, and I wasn't always, but it's nice to be around ambitious people that are willing to work for themselves, for their families, and for the good of the community and the world. And I just feel honored and privileged that, to call you my friend. So
Yay.
Thank you.
I'm blessed too. That's why you guys are on for like the 10th millionth time.
We'll come anytime. Absolutely.
Your messages of wisdom, love, and support and light is always welcome here.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you, guys. And now you guys can find them on liveinspirednow.com. That's Heather and Thad Paris. And yeah, thanks, guys. You guys can follow me on purposedrivenrevolution.com. So go over there and get more delicious, high vibe, forward-thinking, revolutionary content that inspires you to discover the passions that lead you to your purpose. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, Thad. Bye, Heather.
Bye. Thank you.
Have fun. Bye.